start with Don't Stop, well, I suppose at least you could say the good side is you got to play with the Beach Boys and with Brian May, which must have been fun on both occasions.
Brilliant. Well, to do Fun, I love the track anyway. If you're going to do covers, I mean, to do a track like that is fantastic. A wonderful song, but it's a bit what we call Superman's cape, you know. Can you top the original? Tricky. But we did a good little version of it, and of course somebody came up with the idea, well, let's phone the Beach Boys and see if they'll do some BVs on it. And incredibly, they said, yeah, we'd love to. And when the tapes came back from America, oh God, I was just over the moon to hear the Beach Boys backing vocals on their song that we'd done. And Christ knows why they did it. I mean, I think we were very lucky that they agreed it. But it was fantastic. Those voices are just amazing. And then to get Brian along to play on Raining in My Heart was wonderful. And I think that made the project really quite good, quite different in that respect. But as far as doing all those songs, at the end of the day, you know, one of the greatest things that we do, that I've found over the years, is when you get a little bit of an idea, you're sitting in your kitchen, you're messing about with a guitar, and you get a little bit of an idea, and all of a sudden, you know, you add to it, and then you take it to somebody else. Like I often take it to Rhino or a mate of mine called Wayne Morris, who I write with, and all of a sudden it becomes better and it starts to turn into a song, and you go, hey, this is good, you know. And when you've finally written it, you're thinking, fucking great, you know, this is just that little idea in the kitchen. And then when you get it in the studio, it takes on a new level, and when it's finished, you hear it coming out of those speakers, and you think again, that little idea I had in my kitchen, wonderful, how rewarding is that? And then if it makes it to the final, as it were, which is the stage set, if it gets that far, and then you're playing it on stage and you're watching all these people, you know, leaping up and down and having a great time to this little song that you started in your kitchen, that is where it's at. That's the greatest satisfaction. And to do other people's songs, you just don't get any of that, you know. You can say, oh, we've done a good version of it, sounds great, you know, but there's no satisfaction in it. It's just an empty bucket, you know. There's nothing in it. You're just playing somebody else's song. You're a covers band. You might as well be in cabaret. There's no satisfaction whatsoever in it. And we were somewhat bludgeoned into it, you know, to kind of keep us afloat, I guess, in between studio albums, because the record company didn't want a studio album. They wanted a covers album. So it's really sad that over the years we've been kind of beaten around the head with a baseball bat, you know, by the record company, do this, and we had to conform. And we never liked to, and I don't blame the fans for complaining. I don't blame them. But that's the way it was, and we always said, well, after we'd done one or two, right, that's it, we'll never do another one, but I think we did, and I can say officially now, we never will again now. That's official. Is it?
We talked yesterday about Colin Johnson and Bob Young. Let's go into the back room again. David Walker. What was David like as a manager?
Well, he was very flamboyant. He came across as very flamboyant at first, and he managed Pip Williams, and we got together with him a few times in the studio, you know, and we liked him, and he seemed to have endless ideas about how we should do things, and he seemed to have know a lot of people within the business, you know, and we felt at the time that David was the man to take us forward, and he did have some very colourful ideas, but I mean they were, you know, the covers albums and stuff like that, but it was all to keep us afloat, to keep the name, if you like, up in lights, no matter what it took, and no matter how it damaged our reputation or our image. we were told, you know, do it, keep yourself there. So like idiots, I suppose we did. And David was very good for us. He was a very expensive manager, shall we say? But he did, you know, he did a lot of good. But I'm not quite sure how much harm he did either, because I think there was a lot of stuff, as you put it, went on in the back room that we didn't know about. And all of a sudden we found ourselves round the world with agents who had been our great allies and friends. All of a sudden they were no longer about. We would say, what happened to so-and-so? You know, why isn't he promoting us like he always did? Oh, well, something happened, he became a bit of a backer, you know, and didn't want to work with him anymore. Oh, really? I never saw him like that. So there was a lot going on in the background, and David was very forceful. He would not ever come second. He would, if he had something that he wanted to do, he would do it, no matter what anybody else thought. He was like a bull in a china shop. He would just do it. And I think he rubbed a lot of people up the wrong way. Unbeknown to us, you know, producers, and not all the time. I mean, you know, we did a lot of work through David, you know, and I'm sure in some ways it elevated the band a little bit, you know, and as I say, kept it afloat. But we lost, I think, quite a few friends along the line, because again, as I said, you know, we've always been nice. We've always enjoyed good people, you know, throughout our career. And then suddenly a lot of those good people disappeared. So I don't know what went on in the back room. And then, what was it? I don't know, 8 years ago, 7, 8 years ago, David just dropped dead. And that was that.